Well, hello everyone, this is FilibusterFox, and I'm taking another look at some League of Legends fundamentals. In this situation, it is the solo top lane as Cho'Gath. Now, this is going to try to provide a bit more generalized a solo top situation. Obviously, it's going to be focused on Cho'Gath, but
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
hold on just a moment here while I turn down the volumes and apparently cannot concentrate on two things at once. There we go. So I'm going to focus on how to solo top properly, more so than Cho'Gath specifically. However, due to the nature of the game being what it is, where different champions play a bit differently in the same roles even, that it's going to be Cho'Gath specific. Now this first section, we're just going to deny some counter jungle and actually force an engagement over our blue momentarily here, but I'm just going to fast forward this because this is irrelevant to this situation. Okay, so now I'm headed off to the top lane. And we're going one-on-one against their Cho'Gath. So some basic fundamentals being one-on-one. First, if you watch the last hitting video, you should be well familiar with, you don't want to push your lane too much. If you're 1v1 solo top, they have a jungler as well, more than likely, unless they're doing something funky. And that means if you overextend, you are extremely vulnerable to attacks from the river here. This bush here is a nice place for a jungler to set up. So if you push out to this area, they've got their solo top here, they've got their jungler here, jungler comes around, stuns you in there, and the solo top comes and gets some action on you too. So the major important thing to do is try to get some harass on your opponent to force them out of lane, but mostly just secure those last hits and not get yourself into a position. Like there, I missed a good last hit there, and you got some damage on me, but I'm not too concerned. Now, I usually go with some health potions when I solo top, like the boots and health potions typically works best for me as solo top Cho. He went with regrowth pendant there, but up there. The health potions tend to heal you a bit faster than the regrowth pendant, although you do have a limited supply of reheals there. I find it works out just fine, and the boots allow you to get better positioning in most situations. You're less likely to miss those last hits, and you're less likely to get caught out of position if you do overextend for a bit. You got a better chance to escape their jungler with that little extra movement speed. I also still use movement speed quintessences due to lack of having bought other quintessences at the time, so that also helps with my positioning. Your rune setup really is up to you. There are a few different ways to do things, especially depending on your champion. I'm not really going to go into specific rune setup. Alright, so with Cho'Gath, there are a couple things to consider. That was a horrible rupture there, we just wasted my own time. But your auto attack with the Vorpal Spikes, which is the first thing I level up primarily. I get one level of each Feral Scream and Rupture. I usually go Rupture, Vorpal Spikes, Feral Scream, and then Vorpal Strikes whenever possible. I'll only stop and get Feast with a higher priority. Because you can do some positional harassment for no mana cost. And like this, what I'm doing right here, I'm getting to the opposite side of the minions, so my Vorpal Spikes actually hit that Cho'Gath as well. I'm getting a lot of good damage on him because of it, giving me the health advantage now, despite him having the regrowth pendant and me using it. Now, if you auto-attack them like that, the minions will attack you, so that's a bit of a risky move for some damage because you'll start taking minion damage in return. But if there aren't many minions left and you think you can get away with it, no problem. You can regain your health as Cho'Gath just by killing off minions later. As you see me doing, I'm preventing him from getting those last hits to heal while I'm securing them myself. Having a CS advantage in top lane is very important. Just like in mid, I've got 24 to his 17 now. And I'm still putting on that pressure and doing some good damage. Got a little close to the tower there, but it's okay. Now, you may be saying, hey, FilibusterFox, why are you so extended when you told me not to do that? Well, in this situation, I've been keeping my eye on the game situation. I'm very confident in Naru Deer's jungling. And I think I may have seen the jungler popped up down in bottom. I don't remember for sure. This was quite some time ago. but for whatever reason, I'm fairly confident in my escape ability. I've got mana, so I can pop up their Nunu if he tries to stop me, and I get out of there pretty fast. So I'm not too worried, and I'm trying to put on this extra pressure to really maintain a dominant top lane position. I don't recommend doing this much if you're new to solo top. You're better off just being on the safe side of things and sticking back a little. Once you do it more often and you get a better feel for how things work, what kind of timings you can get away with particular junglers, that sort of thing, you can probably afford to get a little more aggressive like I'm doing in this situation and really forcing your advantage, keeping them from getting the minion kills. Yeah, it's all situational. In this situation, I felt confident doing it. And as it turns out in this situation, it's a good decision. Jungler's doing his job, went for the Annie. Apparently short mana for summoning her Tibbers. Yep, just a little short to defend herself with Tibbers there. Oh well, sucks to be you, Annie. But that's not the focus of the game. You'll notice I have the camera locked on Cho'Gath. That's because our entire focus is on how I'm soloing this top lane right now. He blew his flash there. It's not really important that he did that, unless I try for a gank here shortly, because it'll keep him from getting that escape, or vice versa. I was like, really? Did he just flash there? It happens. Sometimes you hit the wrong button. Now, as Cho'Gath, you've got one very important consideration in the top lane. Building your fee stacks. In fact, that's in any situation as Cho'Gath. You've always got to build that fee stack whenever it's available. The only time you don't want to use your feast on a minion, if it's available, is if you're about to go into a team fight, and you can use that for a huge chunk of damage on a champion. It's the only situation that you don't want to be burning that feast on every cooldown. In fact, it pays to get cooldown reduction with Cho'Gath, simply to get that up more often so you can use it up in every team fight once you get your feast built. And after every death, since you lose 3 feast stacks, it's so essential to get that full stacking to have your proper tank. That cooldown reduction helps the essential time penalty you get for dying every time as Cho'Gath reduced. Because each death as Cho'Gath is a little more painful than a death on most characters. Because you lose that fee stack and you have to rebuild it before you can really confidently start initiating in those team fights again. Even if you want complete tank item build, which I usually do. Some people may disagree with that build, but it works pretty well for me. It lets me pick the tank for my team, and well, that works. Even if you do go tank item build, I'm still not confident initiating those fights, especially in late game, without my full fee stack. So you've got to wait the extra minute and a half with a full cooldown to get back into the fight properly before you can start using your feast for champion stuff like that. So once again, I've got this big advantage. You know, we're both pretty low on mana, but I've got a huge health advantage. I think we're pretty equal on, I've got one more extra fee stack, but he'll be able to shore that up, no problem. And all in all, I'm doing pretty well in this upper lane. The jungler's been a no-show for me, just did a quick check there, which serves 2 purposes. First, well, it only serves 1 purpose, is just actually checking the bush to make sure the jungler is there while their Cho'Gath is out of position for a gank. That makes sure I'm safe. Because Cho'Gath was so far back by the tower, if I had gotten stunned in the bush by a jungler, I still had a fairly good chance of getting away before Cho'Gath could get back into the fight. Secondly, it gives you the opportunity to place a ward or pretend to place a ward. Like, I haven't gone back to base yet, and if my opponent Cho'Gath isn't thinking at the top of this game, he might have been like, oh, did he just ward there? And warn the jungler that he warded. Anyone who's been paying attention and not stressing over there would notice, oh wait, he hasn't gone back at all. He hasn't bought any wards. There's no way he could ward there. But there is a possibility that they might make that mistake in judgment. And I know I've done it. I'm like, oh crap, did he ward? I'm like, oh right, he hasn't gone back yet. But them thinking that that's warden, if they announce that to their jungler, will force their jungler to be a little more cautious. And little bits of psychological things like that help. If you can ever get them to accomplish, but don't count on them actually helping with any chicanery like that. Not Sean Connery, Sean Connery. Trickery, yes. Yes, Sean Connery is quite a situation. Alright, so, you know, I'm level 9. We're advancing pretty well into the landing phase. It's getting to the point where the landing phase will be over here soon. Yeah, I could probably have done an occasional run game, but you really don't want to leave the lane unless you have to up in top. Just like in mid, you want to be in that position so their tower doesn't take damage. So I still haven't got equipment. You know, we've got our Udyr ready for that gank as soon as I can draw out their Cho'Gath. So there's a little trick that I do there. I stand in front of the minion waves to make them walk around me, make them go a little bit further. It doesn't work so well in this as it used to work in Dota. But okay, we get a good gank there, giving me an even more significant advantage. We've got nearly 3,000 gold built up, so after we clear off this creep wave, I'm going to try for one more fee stack probably and get that built up, or maybe do a little tower damage and stick around. And, okay, they've got a teleport there, so their Teemo is going to force us off the tower, which is fine. They went pretty teleport-heavy team. I believe, yes, 4 of them have teleports, so that does mean that it's hard to pick off that tower after defeating Cho'Gath. But that's fine. I'm low on mana, and I've got a lot of gold to spend, so now's my opportunity to go B, because their Cho'Gath went B, and I can keep my experience advantage there.